Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about the most powerful hacks that my clients have discovered, either on them by themselves or with my help, or a little bit of both. This is useful because I've been consulting now in the testosterone niche for 6 years, and I've had many clients, and some of them have gone on to do very well. 1,000 testosterone, 900, quite loads of hitting 800, as you can imagine, because it's always the range I'm talking about. 800 to 1200. 1200 is very unusual. Even I'm not there, and frankly, if you've got high free at 1200, it's probably too much. But 800 plus is a great range, and some of these guys have done it. And I want to say, I always push blood work because it depends on you, it depends on your body, your unique situation, your biochemistry, your age, your experiences, everything. So blood work comes first. But one guy who is in Florida, big into his Amazon stuff, one of his biggest issues was liver health, and it was ruining his free testosterone. It was making him fatigued all the time, no matter how much sleep he got. And one of the biggest fixes for this was berberine. It was amazing for liver health, plus drinking more water, plus NAC, plus vitamin C. There were other things as well, don't get me wrong, but berberine seemed to be the biggest one. And after fixing his liver health, getting the AST and the ALT values down, and a couple of others, his free testosterone went up, and that was what really made him feel better. More energy all the time, less lethargy. His business was doing better, and his wife ended up wanting him back after splitting. So that was a big one. Another big one was a Canadian guy who was struggling with morning wood, libido, drive, things like that. A lot of you guys are obviously interested in this as well. And it was L-citrulline for him that got him the morning wood. He was convinced that that was the biggest thing, the biggest change that he made, that had the best, most positive effects. L-citrulline and citrulline malate. Obviously I've spoken about this before. And this is where experimenting with different things is useful, because not everyone responds to the same thing. Some guys it's going to be black ginger. For some guys it could be raw garlic and beets and things like that. I've always had really good results from beets, just anecdotally. But experimentation is important, but even more important is that you get your blood work done. And in some cases, some guys are deficient in so many different minerals and vitamins, and it's because something else is going on. Their gut health is off, or they're massively stressed, or there's some sort of sleep deprivation or something. Vitamin D3 levels are really low, because when they're low, that can affect how you absorb all the other vitamins and minerals. But anyway, the L-citrulline was another big one. Another big one, and this hasn't just been one client, this has been loads of guys. Because I had a bit of a fasting background, because that's what initially got me lean, and people were following me from years ago. And so they were fasting as well. But it turns out that fasting every single day, especially when you combine it with lots of caffeine, especially if your sleep isn't that great, it pushes the cortisol and the stress hormones too high over time. What you're far better off doing, and I've discovered this quite a few years ago, and this never fails to get your testosterone levels higher. What you're way better off doing is having something to eat first thing in the morning, instead of breaking your fast with caffeine, which can also disrupt your gut health, by the way. Having something to eat, not only from a protein standpoint and a protein synthesis standpoint, which tends to lead to more muscle, higher metabolism, but just basic nutrients and minerals. So eggs could be a good example. It could be Brazil nuts, could be some sort of tinned fish, could be avocado, could be anything. But when you have these minerals and vitamins coming in around the clock, instead of just in a small condensed window, the body just seems to use them better, which means testosterone goes up. I realize this is bro science, but it's just true, and it's also just common sense as well. If you have one big meal, and this is good for fat loss, if you're obese and you need to get lean ASAP, you know, OMAD could work for you for a while. But if you're just eating one meal, and I know there's like extreme influencer examples, but they're not you. They're not a good example for you. I promise you, if you just have one big ass meal, as opposed to splitting those nutrients up several times throughout the day, and this is especially true with protein as well, your body uses them better when they're split up into manageable, digestible chunks instead of one big attack on your stomach. And when this happens, your testosterone levels do go higher much sooner and much more easily. So don't be fasting all the time with loads and loads of caffeine. It stresses the body out, and you just don't get as many nutrients in, and your body doesn't use them as well or as easily. You can still get shredded by eating, you know, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. You just have to be smart about it and watch the calories. Put it this way, I've not seen someone get obese or overweight, or it stops them from losing weight from eating boiled eggs in the morning. That's just not what causes body fat issues. It's the cereal, it's the addictive stuff, it's the sugar, it's the seed oils, it's all the rest of it. The stuff that is very, very easy to overdo. Boiled eggs, who gets addicted to boiled eggs and can't stop eating them and binges on them? No one. So they're the three big lessons that I'd come off the top of my head. If you want more lessons, especially lessons on how to get lean, I talk about all the lessons that I had to stay at 9% body fat year round in this video. Loads of people found it very, very useful. Check out the comment section. Years of information in that one video, check it out.